Amen.
Yes. Hello, hello, hello. We are back. We are back with another episode of Black Fatherhood Conversations, and this is a special episode. We're doing marriage talk, a real conversation with real couples talking about real marriages. And you know what? I'm excited. I feel like this is going to be a really good conversation. We got some awesome couples on tonight. And you know what, man? I'm just going to get right into it. I don't want to get too much into talking. I'm just gonna get the salutations and greetings out the way, and we're gonna get right into the questions. But I got to give these guys their introduction first. These are some really, really good friends of ours. I don't even think they're friends no more. They're family. All right, they are family now. They came down here a couple weeks ago. We had a really good time. But I would like to introduce to some because a lot of you guys know them already. But let's introduce Kevin and Raven Aldrich. How are you guys doing tonight? You guys doing all right?
Good, good. How are you?
We're doing good, doing good. Kev, you good? And just seen you a couple days ago. You good, bro?
Yeah, man, I'm straight. I'm straight. Can't complain.
And now I'm gonna introduce. Y'all know who I am. I'm Mike Owens. I am the host of this show. But a lot of people do not know that this is my wife. This is my lovely, beautiful wife, Kania Owens. Introduce her, love on her. I know she's gonna have a lot of good stuff to say tonight. Hopefully not, nothing too bad against me. Hope not. I'm praying on that. But I'm gonna introduce my lovely wife, Kania Owens. How are you doing tonight, babe?
Doing good.
Good, good. I'm waiting on Anthony and Essence here. We're gonna see. Well, Anthony's trying to fix some technical difficulties here. All right, hold on. Give me 1 second. I got it. Give me 1 sec. Check it now. Check it now. All right, good. Sorry, guys. I'm just checking to see if we are live on all platforms because we are going live from Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram tonight. That's the first time we ever did this. So I had to check to see if all our streams are up, and they are up. So thank you for waiting on us for the technical difficulties. But now here they are. My good friend, man, Mr. Anthony Robinson and his lovely wife, Essence Robinson. How you guys doing tonight?
Doing good.
Good. I'm glad to have you. Glad to have y'all on the marriage episode, man. I'm really eager to hear about you guys' marriage and giving us some gems. So I think this is gonna be a really good episode. So I'm glad you guys were able to make it tonight.
Of course, glad to be here.
So we're gonna get right into the questions, man. I feel like the last time we did this episode, this is probably one of our most watched episodes because people do want to hear from the wives. All right, they want to hear the other side of things, and I know us as men, we get to talk on here every week and give our point of view. But sometimes they want to hear the woman's point of view, and I would like to hear it too. You know, you can take some stuff from this for your marriage if you would like to. Write notes down. These are really awesome people. So I know they're going to give you some awesome advice tonight. And we're going to start with the first question. And the first question is this. I'm going to start with this one. Let's start with this one. Your spouse wants another child, but you're completely done having kids. How do you work through it? I think this is a really good one because a lot of times this is something that comes up in a lot of marriages where one spouse might want 2 kids, the other spouse might want 4 kids. How do you compromise on those things? I can only speak from from our marriage. Me and Kania has always been set on what 2 kids, right? You always
At
wanted
first, it
two.
was just one. I
It
was
was
good with the one.
Kania has always been set on not having too many kids, just 1 or 2 kids. I've always wanted 3 because it was 3 of us. I know my mom had 3 and my dad had 6 brothers and sisters. So I was always used to having a lot of aunties and uncles and having a big family. And I always wanted that for myself. But here's the thing. It kind of worked out in our favor because I understand if you have 3 girls and you want a boy. I know most men want a boy. So I can kind of, cope with them on that. But if you have 1 girl and then you have 1 boy, I feel like that right there is the compromise. And that worked out for us because I would have said, if Kylan would have been a girl, I ain't gonna lie, I would have said, look, I want to try for a boy. For real. I definitely would have wanted to try for a boy. But God worked it out in our favor to where we had a girl, We had a boy, and guess what? After 2, I was good. I was so good. Uh, what was that? About a couple years later, Kania was like, "You need to go ahead and get the snip," and I was with it. Okay, I went in there and got my snippy snip. So that vein don't work no more, and I'm totally fine with that. All right, I'm totally fine with that. I'm free balling now, and I'm good with it. But I'll talk to Kania. Yeah, I'll talk to Kania on this. How would you answer that question as well? If one spouse wants more children and the other one is content with where they are.
I think it's just having a conversation about why one person feels the way that they feel over the other.
Mm-hmm.
Especially like for me, another reason why I didn't want any more children, because I think at the time I might have been 30 when I had Kylan, maybe 30 or 31. How old was I? I think 30 or 31.
Yeah, 30.
So it's one of those things where it's like the older you get, like why is it that you don't want, and then why is it that you do?
Right.
And I think it's just, I don't think there's ever a end all be all. I think we just got to come to a mutual agreement of why. And so whether it be age, whether it's like, oh, like what you said, we already have a boy and a girl, we're content with that, we're fine with that. And just having a open conversation of the why, I think, in my opinion.
Okay. Let's ask Kevin and Raven on this one. Have you dealt with this, or how would you deal with this if this was you guys' uh, problem?
Don't go.
I feel like okay. So, in my defense, when we first started dating, he said that he wanted 5 kids. He said that he always wanted 5 kids. That's just what he wanted to do. Um,
I thought I wanted 5 kids.
Yeah. Once you start
I was
having
just trying to make his dream a reality. I was trying to help him
Darn
out.
close.
And over the years, he's just, he's been like, I think I'm good. We were supposed to be done after Kirsten, and then came 3. So we'll see. We still waiting on him to make his appointment, Mike. So
You
I don't know if you want
hey,
to talk to him or what, but I mean,
you gonna love it, bro. I promise you. I know you're a little scared, bro. Don't be scared, man. Just jump right in, dog.
I'm terrified.
dive
And so yeah, once we were done with Kirsten, it was like once we thought we were done with Kirsten, it was you know what I'm saying, and we was on one accord, kind of sort of, but she's always open to have kids, which is kind of crazy because she carrying them, but like yeah, if you want to have another one, I'm like no, 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 and it's actually weird. Well, funny we having this conversation because she was pressuring me about having a kid after Kirsten. Like, I think we should have one more. I really think we should have one more. And I'm like, no, not gonna happen. I'm gonna get me an RV in a few years. I'm planning my retirement now. And next thing you know, we had 3. So it's always gonna be God's plan. You know what I'm saying? It's always gonna be what He wants and what He desires for your life. So pray about my biggest thing is to pray about it. If
Amen.
y'all stuck in the middle, pray about it and see God, and He'll give you the answer. And
That's
He gave
good.
us 3. So here we are.
All right, Anthony and Essence, how y'all answering this one?
You might hear ours about to harass us in a second.
yeah, he definitely.
but we kind of got a different experience with this. So hold on, man. Just wait a second.
That's what we're having on. Don't worry about it. One second.
We kind of had to go had a little different experience with this one. So I don't for us it kind of we kind of been on the same I guess thought or mindset, same thought pattern. We got married. We said we was gonna wait for 4 years. And no, we said we was gonna wait for 2 years. 2 years came and we said we was gonna wait for 4. and then we actually had an interesting situation to where we were kind of forced to have a kid. Like we had to have a kid. Otherwise it was gonna be you here just in time. Yeah, you here just in time. I feel like you a better candidate to speak on that. But
What part you at?
how we waited and then we were forced to
Oh, we
go
were
ahead
forced
and.
to decide. Yeah,
Mhm.
I know one thing you talked about. Kevin was like putting it, just pray about it. Whatever God wants is ultimately what's going to happen. We had talked about wanting twins at first, I think,
Mhm.
and then we wanted to have another one, but it was only a 20% chance that we even conceived naturally with no
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
help. And so, uh, and then after that, I guess last year I ended up having a hysterectomy, so that was
Oh
over
wow.
because I have stage
Wow.
4 endometriosis. So
So
that was
I ain't
that.
got to get the
So
slip.
he good. He
I'm gonna
don't need to.
keep.
I was gonna say
I'm gonna
that.
keep the vein, like you said. I'm gonna keep
Sorry, I got to catch my breath. But my best advice of that would be like I've had people talk about this. Like they've had children prior to being married, and they both want to have a child together. Well, one wants to have a child, the other one is like, "Well, I'm done." And one of their compromises are coming to some kind of compromise through, just communication with them. Like, hey, if we do have another child, I want it to a point where I don't have to go back to work. Like, what are you
Mm,
willing to
Mm-hmm.
give up so the other person can have something that they desire? Not saying the other person wouldn't want desire the child, but if I were to give you this, this is something that I would want in order for that to be something feasible or comfortable for me. So I think compromising in that situation, don't be completely closed off. But if your spouse is completely closed off to it, then are you willing to, of course, sacrifice your desire for the
Mm-hmm.
sake of
yeah,
your spouse's?
yeah. That's a tough one because it's the of course the opposition would say, do you sacrifice? Does the other person get to need to sacrifice? Then that's one of the ones that's a long conversation and somebody's gonna lose. Even though we're talking about
Mm-hmm.
smarter,
mm.
somebody's gonna lose that one.
Yeah, and you
But
don't
it's
want to build
ultimately
up
gonna be a
resentment.
lesson.
You don't want to build up resentment, and then how about instead of focusing on the fact that I wanted another child, my significant other doesn't want to give it to me, or however, but being content with the one that I do have, because there are some that can't have children at all. So
That
how about we focus on that? You know.
Yeah,
right,
absolutely.
right. Well, I thank y'all
That's
for
good.
sharing that, man. That was really good, man. I like those answers, and it's always good to hear from other people because you never really know what other people are going through.
Mm-hmm.
So, I really appreciate you guys answering that as candidly as possible. Um,
Absolutely.
Going on to the next question. All right, I seen this one. What is the healthiest way to resolve an argument? Um, and it's a lot of unhealthy ways to resolve an argument. But I believe as me and Kania mature, especially going in on 10 years of marriage now, uh, first time, first of all, I think we give each other our space. First of all,
Mm-hmm.
before we come to the table, I normally like to sit back and think about what I'm going to say before I say it. So a lot of times we'll put something on the back burner and forget about it. And I like to come back to things. I'm the one that does like to initiate the conversation when it comes to us having a disagreement or having an argument. But I believe the biggest thing in resolving argument is respect, and how you show respect is the way you communicate. I feel like previous times before, and I think that's they hit that mic. But I feel like previous times before, I would raise my voice, get very animated. I still do it sometimes. I'm not perfect, but we try to have a conversation, uh, in a respectful conversation, keeping our tones very low. I already said it on the show before. I'm a big tone guy, so I do not like when the tone sounds like it's negative or it's demeaning. So I try to have a respectful tone, and we just try to have a conversation. And then when you go into resolving an argument, uh, you should look for a solution. That's the biggest thing. A lot of times we argue just to argue to win. That's something that immature people do. What you should do when you argue is to try to look for the solution and show grace. All right, grace is very important in a relationship, in a marriage. You have to show grace to your spouse. I know it's certain things that my wife is very strong in, and I know her weaknesses. And I'm pretty sure she knows I'm strong in certain areas, and she knows my weaknesses. And we shouldn't try to expose or extort their weaknesses. All right, show them grace for the things that they lack. All right, and you should, if you're stronger in them, pull them along with you. So, what do you got on this one, babe? How do you? What's the healthiest way to resolve an argument?
I would say one of the healthiest ways would be stop trying to win the argument.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Instead of trying to win an argument, more so understand what the other person is trying to communicate. And it goes with communication styles. And like what you said, for us, the arguing, the getting loud, we don't really do that at all. For me, I shut down because I don't like to go back and forth. I don't like to argue, and that's not a good thing either. But for me, it's one of those things. Instead of us going back and forth arguing, let's take a step back. Let's revisit this when we're both calm. We can both have a clear understanding of what it is, and then also take the time to process what was said, and then come back. But of course, a resolve. But in the moment, instead of belittling each other and assassinating each other's characters, because there's certain things when you're in a heated argument and you say something, you can't take that back. Once it's out there, it's out there. So
Right.
I would think one of the healthiest ways is to revisit it at another time, whether it be an hour, 2 hours, but before you go to bed, I would say for sure. And then have a more in-depth conversation when y'all both are calm.
That's good. All right, Anthony and Essence. How would you guys answer this one? What's a healthy way to resolve an argument?
You want to take this one first?
Sure, I'll go first. I think one of the best things that you can do, I think you guys already hit it, is seek to understand. So sometimes what we do is we're arguing to get our point across.
Mm-hmm.
But if you slow down and ask questions,
Mm-hmm.
then 9 times out of 10 you'll realize that their intentions, one, aren't to insult you, or they aren't to hurt you in any capacity. So if you're asking them questions to get to what they actually mean, you'll probably realize sometimes it was just a big misunderstanding, and it could avoid a huge argument. But to resolve it, I agree. Me and Anthony are really big on taking a break. If we need to take a break, then let's walk away from the conversation, come back in an hour or so. I'm just like you can. I don't like to argue. In
Mm-hmm.
fact, I'm like, you got it.
Literally,
Look,
yeah.
you got it. I
Mm-hmm.
don't have time.
Not gonna waste
And
my time, my energy, my breath. Oh.
I don't have it. I don't have
Mm-mm.
it. But yeah, walk away, come back. I would also like to add one thing that, and I think it's beneficial for any couple that's watching, is present more opportunities throughout the week to sit down and reflect. Sometimes it's a build up on things that you're not speaking
Mhm.
about. So one thing we had implemented was Thursdays we would sit down and we would discuss. We'll go over kudos. We'll
Mm.
talk up. We'll give kudos. The first thing was kudos. This is something I saw you do this week that was really awesome. Thank you. We talk about our finances. We'll talk about
What we gonna do as a
chores,
family, chores
chores,
that we
dates
gonna
as a
do.
family, and then the last point would be, what was it? What's the last point? It
You
was
can name it whatever you want, but opportunities for improvement, or
opportunities for
what
improvement.
I
Yeah,
noticed, what I didn't like. These are
yeah,
marriage meetings that we did. We
yeah.
haven't done it.
We
We
need
need
to
to get
get
back
back to
on them,
them, but
but
but that was
there
a
was a good
great way
span
if
where
we open the door for us to have more conversations about something that we noticed and present more opportunities just to converse.
yeah,
Then those arguments could be more seldom.
yeah. I think that's one of the biggest ways that a lot of couples can win is when it comes to disagreements, because it ain't no two people on this planet that will not disagree. It's
Mhm.
just
That's
not
right.
possible. Even if you're married, it's gonna
Mhm.
happen.
Mhm.
But
That you do it.
being able to have a set place or a set spot time in your marriage week where this is the time where we're going to talk about whatever it is that we need to talk about. It for me it does a really big thing in separating the emotion from what actually happened, or whatever it is that was actually an issue. Because in doing so, you're either gonna not care about it no more the next day, meaning it wasn't really a big deal and it was just something going, or you're gonna be able to have the time to process what actually took place, get your thoughts together. You might even take some notes that you can pull up out your phone and say, yeah, you did
I
this,
noticed you
this,
did
you did,
this.
yep, yep,
No.
and actually be able to run through the conversation and how it actually needs to happen and what actually needs to be addressed, changed, stay the same, and just be accepted. So it really just depends. But yeah, that's kind of how we've. And then sometimes sometimes you just some blow ups
You
happen.
gotta choose it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Sometimes they happen. Sometimes they happen, and just let it go.
Yeah, arguments can be good sometimes as long as you
Yeah.
get
Yeah.
something out of them.
Yeah.
You know,
Mm.
Absolutely.
I like to shake it up sometimes. You
Keep it exciting.
know,
Keep it spicy.
keep it spicy. All right, Kevin and Raven, how y'all gonna answer this one? What's the healthiest way to resolve an argument?
I'm like Kania in essence. I really don't like to argue. I'm more of the let's wait a couple days and let's talk about it so I can gather my thoughts. Because
Mm-hmm.
if we gonna have an argument, I'm gonna lose it every rep because she's witty and quick on her toes, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
not that guy. You know what I'm saying? I gotta process stuff and take it all in, and
Quick
Dog.
on your feet.
recap what actually happened and gather my thoughts.
We gotta address this right now.
Raven, that can't. Raven's not that person. She wants to
Right
address it
now.
right now, and I'm like, man, come on, let's give me a minute. Give me a minute, But I think the biggest thing is to, like everybody say, listen. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? To understand your spouse and what's going on. So I think if everybody listening to to understand where the other person coming from and
Mm-hmm.
not just to argue, just to have a rebuttal, I think that makes it a whole lot easier.
Okay. What about you
I
on
think also, uh, which is hard to remember in the moment, but I like to, whether it's in the moment or whether I come back and say, "Here's what I heard you say," because sometimes we can just misconstrue,
Mm-hmm.
what the other person has said. So here's what I think you're saying, or here's what I think you're asking for. Is that right or wrong? Versus, catching the attitude like, what you mean? And then
Mm-hmm.
now we're going back and forth. So typically with me, it's maybe a day later, a couple days later, once he's, I can kind of read him and tell when he's in an approachable manner. And, I'll say, here's what I'm hearing.
Approachable.
Well, yeah, because you're the one that doesn't want to talk about it. Like, I'm always open to talk about it.
So we finna
You're
argue
not.
now. Cut the camera.
so, so I have to wait until I think you're in a mood to talk. You're not always in the mood to talk about it. So doing that. So that time that where I would spend like antsy because I want to talk about it. I go to God in prayer. God, show me myself. Like, what is it that maybe I need to work on? Maybe I should just be praying about myself, or changing some things within me. But then also really thinking about what he said or what he's revealed, or how he's feeling, and then making sure I'm understanding exactly what it is he's saying. So that's why I said I always go back and say, or I try to. Here's what I'm hearing.
Mm-hmm.
Is that true or not? And I mean, that's really
Mhm.
with anybody, not even within your marriage. I just think that's a good skill to have, because we read things the wrong way. You, especially text messaging. Do not text.
Yes.
Do not text if you're having a disagreement. Please talk in person.
Mm-hmm.
Again,
Yes.
you read things in your head a certain way, you're gonna automatically assume the wrong
And
tone.
on
You
the text,
automatically
yep.
assume that there's an attitude behind it. So just, all right, baby, I read your text. I got it. I
Talk
see what
about
you're
it later.
saying. I'll talk to you when you get home,
Mm-hmm.
and just leave it at that. So yes, prayer, clarification, and make sure it's in person.
that's
And
good.
fight for her because she be calling me an ugly, bald head, fat man, and that hurt my feelings.
I don't believe you at
I don't
all.
You
believe
know what I'm
it.
saying? That hurts. It hurts me to the
I don't
core.
believe
So
it.
fight fair. No name calling, guys.
See, I don't even have to clarify. They
Yeah, don't
already
hit
know.
below the belt, Raven.
They
Hey,
already
hey,
know
Kev,
who did the
I ain't gonna lie, boy.
harassing.
My head be spinning, Kev. I feel you. I feel you. Dog. I'll be like,
You see
what
what I'm
am I saying
saying?
now? I don't even know what I'm supposed to say next.
Right,
Did you
like,
put words in
dang.
my mouth?
Is that how you really feel?
And it's funny too, because I actually want to solve it right now. But then it'd be too many thoughts going on in here, so I just
Too
get
many.
spun around.
Man, I be
Mhm.
all over the place. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like the stuff be spinning. You know how stuff be spinning around your head in cartoons? That's how I be. I be like, lost.
Yeah. Kev, me and you are a little different though, because I gotta,
We
I gotta.
are.
Mm-hmm.
I'm more like Raven. I
You
gotta
want
say,
to get straight to it. I can tell.
Yeah.
yeah,
Get to it.
And I will
We
say,
don't.
I just said I don't want to talk about it right now. We can
yeah.
Yeah,
revisit
give me a
this later.
minute.
See her.
Later.
Yeah.
Okay,
And now I'm mad. What you mean?
right.
What you mean you don't want to
Mine's
talk?
it's building up inside of me. I'm telling you. Sometimes I just
Yeah.
gotta get it out for real.
I'm sorry, Kania. I know how you feel.
Be
Hard
right
over
here.
here.
All right, we'll start with Kevin Raven on this next question. How do you apologize when you know you're wrong? This is a good one.
Mm.
I
What you
say
want to
I'm
eat?
sorry.
What you want to eat?
Simple. She ain't gonna say sorry. What you want to eat? You on? You know, like just tell me you sorry.
I've been doing better
She
lately.
has been doing
I
better.
have been doing better lately.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm very awkward with just just any type of conflict. Period. Um, which is why I want to resolve. Like I don't want to resolve things in a conflicted manner,
Hmm.
but I want to resolve things because there's a conflict. If that makes sense. Like I don't want there to be tension. I want to talk about it. I want to address it. But if it's something that is a conflict, like I don't want anything to do with it. And for whatever reason, saying I'm sorry feels like a conflict to me.
Mm.
I don't know why. It feels very weird and it's hard, but I've been doing better. I've been doing better.
It's
You
good.
don't think so?
Nah, a little bit.
Well, you know what? We haven't been arguing a lot lately
Right.
either.
That's true.
But just usually mine usually comes a couple days later,
Like
and
a week later,
and I
week and a
say,
half, 2 months.
and I say, I heard you when you said this, is that, and the third,
Right.
or I was tripping, and I just say, I'm sorry, you were right. Typically, he likes to hear it again.
What'd you say?
Mm.
What you say?
I hear
And I
what you
have to
say.
repeat myself and say you were right. But really, just owning your mess.
Yeah.
Owning your mess is how you apologize.
It's good. All right, Anthony and Essence. How do you apologize when you know you're wrong?
Same as Kev. My bad. And
Right.
it's like that too. My bad. My bad. Blah blah blah. Yeah, whatever.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I got that. Yeah, I got that wrong. My bad. My fault. Yeah, it's usually right there whenever it happens.
I'm trying to think because you be doing most of the apologizing. If I'll be honest, it's
Hmm.
bad. I'm
Don't
gonna
we
keep it a
all?
buck. I'm gonna keep it a buck.
Hmm.
When I'm wrong, though, I will.
When you, but you just said
I'll
too.
be right a lot.
That part.
Sounds like we need to book a session.
Right. Right.
That's what it is.
Mhm.
I ain't
We
never
don't
wrong.
have to apologize that
apologize
I
that
often.
way.
ain't never wrong.
No, I mean honestly though, if sometimes it may take me, I'll have to go and calm down first though. Once I've calmed down, if it's been a spat, I'll calm down. I'm like, listen, I understand what you were saying when said this, that, and the third. I apologize for making you feel this, that, and the third.
Mhm.
Mm.
And in the future, this is what I'll do different. I think that's also something good to add to the other side of the apology is, what can I do different or this is what I'll do different to prevent you feeling this way again.
Mm-hmm.
That's good. That's good.
Am I lying? Because you're looking like I'm lying.
Nah, you just owe me a couple. That's all.
Oh,
Right. Yeah, I'm short of you.
All right, Kania, how do you apologize when you know you're wrong?
You know what? I used to be bad with apologizing. Now I feel like I'm doing better because I used to be, well, I'm sorry you feel that way, but that was never my intention. But I'm sorry you felt that way. But now I can be like, you know what? I hear how you're feeling. I'm sorry that I did X, Y, and Z. I'm sorry that whatever the case may be, or I didn't mean to say it this way. But it's more so now acknowledging and taking accountability for whatever it is that I've done, whether I hurt your feelings, whether I said something out of pocket, out of line, that offended you, but just taking accountability instead of throwing it off on you like, well, I'm sorry, that's on you that you feel that way. But that
Mm.
never was my intention. So just more so taking accountability for what it is that I've said.
Telling y'all, man, Kania was rough, bro. I'm being honest with you. Very rough. Like The emotions wasn't there. She wasn't apologizing. They show it in the different ways, like making you a meal, bring
I
you
was gonna
some
say you want something to
food.
eat.
Hmm.
And that's cool and all. I know what you're doing, but I still want the other
Right.
part.
But
I
if you
need to
know,
hear
why do
it.
you
Right.
need
You be a little
more?
prideful in that
I want to
part.
hear the words.
Yeah, come sit by you, lay on your shoulder or whatever. That's all cool, good and dandy, but I still want that apology. All right,
Right? Get off me.
I want
Oh,
that. I'm
I did
sorry.
remember. I remember one other thing is when I was having trouble under, like Kania, what you said. I'm sorry, you feel that way.
Hmm.
Typically, you say that because I meant no offense. Like what I
Hmm.
said was what I said. Now, if
Exactly.
you took it the wrong
That
way, then that's on you. So that would automatically like lead to walls up with him.
hmm
So what I started doing, I would say, okay, well, that's not what I meant. Here's what I meant. But in the future, what would you have me do? Like, what would you prefer? How would
hmm
you prefer me to address that? How would you prefer me to say that? How would you prefer me to call it out? At what point? That's when I kind of learned like he needs a minute. Like I didn't know that until he said. I get confused, and then I end up talking myself deeper into a hole because you
hmm
need to give me a minute. So, and I learned that from saying, in the future, how do we address these things? So,
Yeah.
asking and
hmm
being curious.
Yeah. And knowing your spouse, because if you know that I'm gonna shut down and you just constantly going back and forth is not going to get a resolve, then why continue to go back and forth? But just knowing each other, like if I know that she needs a minute, or I know that he wants to talk about this right now, I can say, you know what, instead of me waiting a day, okay, let's revisit this in an hour. Just knowing your partner.
But I will give Kania this. She has gotten much better at apologizing. She has apologized. I can, now see like the last probably 2, 3 years, she's been
Mm,
apologizing when she's wrong, and
mm,
I really appreciate that. Me on the other hand, I'm a little bit of the same way. I'm very competitive. I don't like losing nothing, and it don't matter what it is. We can play rock paper scissors, tic tac toe. It doesn't matter what it is. I'm probably one of the most competitive people on this earth, and I'm being for real. I don't want to lose nothing. I don't want to lose an argument, and it would take a lot in me to apologize for real. Because I mean, I don't like losing nothing, and I had to get rid of that, and be like, you know what, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have
Hmm.
said that, I shouldn't have done that, and it's really hard. It's really hard because it's like you got to let go of that pride as a man
Hmm.
and just apologize. And the more you do it, the easier it is. And I know a lot of men probably struggle with that, but you're not always gonna be right.
You got to
All
give
right,
up your right to be right.
you're not always
Hmm.
gonna be right. And then you also got to look at it like this, where you have to keep in mind that you're married to someone else and their emotions and their feelings are valid. All right. So you need to validate their feelings. All right. Even if, like Raven said, I didn't mean it that way, I'm still going to validate your feelings. I never wanted to hurt your feelings or do anything like that. I don't want to hurt my spouse's feelings.
Hmm.
So even if you didn't mean it in a certain way, I'm still apologizing because it hurt your feelings. All right. And I don't want to hurt your feelings. So that's something that comes with maturity
Hmm.
in a marriage. To even where you said it and you didn't mean it this way or whatever, if your spouse feels a certain way where it could affect your marriage in the future, I want to fix that right then and there. All right, I need to communicate in a different way. Maybe I need to change something I'm doing. You know, because I'm married to Kania. I'm not married to Essence. I'm not married to Raven. I need to kind of you know customize what I'm going to say based off how Kania's feeling. All right, so that's just how I look at it as well. When
And
it
I
comes
would
to that.
say, have a changed behavior. Don't keep apologizing for the same thing, and you're doing the same thing that you keep apologizing for. Because then that's when we're gonna have a problem too. It's like we keep revisiting the same thing that you just said that you apologize for, and you're not gonna do it again. It's a boundary that I've already set. Like we're not gonna cross that line. So, changing the behavior too as well.
I feel a little personal. You good?
Man,
Please.
man, and that's one of the things I think when marriage is overall can be. That's one of like the unspoken, untalked about things in in when people talk about marriage and
Hmm.
communicate to have a successful marriage, and
Hmm.
that's such a just a like up here. when people just say that, like, what do you mean communicate? Talk
Mm-hmm.
about your emotions for one, but even that, what you were saying, Kania, um, did I just lose my train of thought?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Dang.
Uh-huh.
Wow, it's gone. It says
It's
it
like,
says
yeah, you did it again.
That's how I be
It's
in an argument.
Oh, see, mm-mm.
it says said.
like,
It's and it's crazy because like I see the train getting further and further away in my mind. Like it's like come back.
It's gone.
it's
Yeah,
go,
Gone.
it's
change,
go.
It's
change,
gone.
I like
change.
to do that,
Mm.
I think
Kania,
we
what you say?
right.
I got. I'm like,
bro.
give
No,
me
no.
one more chance. What's the last thing you said?
Um,
Ah, dang, it's gone.
change. I said, change the behavior. Don't keep apologizing for the same
Yeah,
thing.
thank you. Woo, it came back. So the grace,
Glory.
like the grace of marriage,
Mm-hmm.
like the actual grace of marriage, because a lot of these things that we deal with in our significant others with our spouses is stuff that is deeply ingrained in
Mm,
us from
yeah.
when we was children. So the
Mm-hmm.
issues that we talking about, the things that not you feeling conflict for apologizing. Not I ain't putting you on the spot, Raven. That was just the thing, quick
You're
thing.
right.
But that stuff is ingrained, and that's tough to get rid of. And it takes repetition and repetition, and I call it practice. It's like marriage argument conflict practice in your marriage, and as the receiving as the spouse on the receiving end or the offended spouse, you got to have the grace for your spouse to practice, because it ain't gonna be, because I've been the one that needed practice on a lot of different things, and I'm grateful that she had the grace to let me practice until
Mm,
it finally got, and I'm trying, and this is with effort, you know what I'm saying,
Mhm.
it's with effort.
yeah,
That's
that's good.
good.
Okay, okay. I know, Mike. You ready to get to the next one, but you just unlocked something in my that I had like pinned in my brain like weeks ago about stuff being ingrained from childhood. I was just talking to, it was either your mom or your sister, I can't remember, somebody about, it could have been you, childhood, um, and how I had adults in my life who would like manipulate and guilt trip to get an apology. So
Mm.
I already had like that little pent up like tension in my chest when it's time to apologize, because I really don't want to apologize. I really don't feel like I did anything wrong.
Mm-hmm.
But in
Right.
order to, you know,
Appease you, it feels
have
like.
Get back
have
in
a
good
Have some
decent
graces.
peace. Have some
way of
peace.
living, you know,
Yeah.
Mhm.
right, in order to have somebody acknowledge me, because I mean I would get like cold shouldered where I'm non existent as a child, and in order to have someone to acknowledge you and to, yeah, hey, you hungry, you need something to eat, you need something to drink, like things that I can't do, I have to come and apologize and kiss your butt. So I've always thought of an apology as me sucking up and
Mm-hmm.
losing, right,
Mm,
to kind of try to get you to love me again. And
wow,
that's something, like you said, it's ingrained in childhood, and I never thought of it until like I had that talk and like pinned it in the back of my head, and it just came back up. So perfect example.
that's good.
Mm-hmm.
That's good. All right, man. We go on to the next question here. We got two more questions, and we're gonna get y'all out of here tonight. If y'all got a question too, y'all can bring it up after we get done with the last two. But this is the next one. Should children ever see their parents argue? Um, and here's the thing, man. I had parents that was very young when they had me. I believe my mom was like 19, 18 years old, and my dad was like 21. They got married actually a year after I was born. So they were like 22 and 20. You don't even know how young that is until you get older. But in young marriages, they argued. They argued, and I seen a lot of those arguments. And you know what? I always knew my parents loved each other, but my mom and my dad, they're both two strong personalities, and when that happens, arguments are going to happen. All right, conflict is going to happen, and sometimes I would be just a little kid just sitting there, and I kind of got used to it almost, which is
Mm-hmm.
crazy. But I would get used to the arguing because when I look back on it, I was like, they're so young and married, and that looking back on it, I don't even know how they got through that at that age of 22 and 20 getting married. But when I went into my marriage and my relationship with my wife, I really make it a point not to argue in front of the kids. And honestly, me and Kania, we have been in arguments and we know how we get. So for us not to even get to that point, we don't like to argue because our arguments are really explosive if we are in a heated argument. So a lot of times we have conversations, we talk, and sometimes they get a little, we both get annoyed with each other sometimes, but it's never heated to where the kids are scared or the kids are telling us to stop arguing. You never want to hear your kids say those things. So with me and my relationship, in our marriage, we don't really argue. We don't argue a lot, actually. Now that I think about it, but we definitely don't argue in front of kids. We kind of keep that away from the kids. Don't when you think that? So
Hmm.
yeah, yeah,
I think it's okay to have healthy disagreements,
yeah,
but when
for
you
sure.
get to the screaming, the name calling, I don't think the kids should see that. And they should see reconciliation too as well. Like, okay, we had a disagreement, but they should see us come back together, like we're good, hug on
See the
each other,
resolutions.
love on each other, give each other a kiss at the end of the day. But
Hmm.
as far as the explosiveness, I don't think that there's anything that the children should be seeing.
That's good. What about you on this one? Let's go with Essence and Anthony on this one.
You want first? All right. So yeah, they definitely need to see disagreements. They definitely need to see that
Mhm.
because this is real life, and we
Everybody.
are training little baby people to be effective, healthy adults.
Right.
So they need to see that because that's a real thing that happens. I would even argue. Catch it? Did you catch it?
Yes, just
I would even argue
Like what you
that.
did there.
Thank you. I would even argue that they do need to see some intense arguments
Mhm.
as well, given you are already a healthy marriage and you don't have intense arguments frequently
Mhm.
anyway. We down to like what one every 3 years, 4 years, maybe. It's been they are few and far between now.
Mhm.
But the last one we had, our son did see it. He was right there. And I feel terrible for it because I just take that on as a husband. It shouldn't get there.
Mhm.
Just as a husband, it shouldn't get there. So I feel terrible for that. Um, and in the same token, he also sees, like you said, Kania, he sees us apologize to each other. He sees us fix it. He sees us affectionate with each other. He
Mhm.
see, and I think that's the thing that's most paramount about what our kids see and how we relate to each other
Hmm.
is they need to see us loving each other openly,
Mm.
physical touch, even if you're not a physical touch, words of affirmation. We just you all do all of them.
Mhm.
Get all of them in there. Let it all be visible for the kids, so they can have a good example and foundation that this is what a normal healthy relationship looks like. Um, Again, not unhealthy arguments, an unhealthy frequency where it's like, all right, this is just kind of crazy. They need help, but this is something that can happen, and we still live normally. We still live normally. We still love each other. And it's to the point where Noah be like, "Mom and Dad, your husband and wife, y'all kiss each other. You guys get like he be guiding your boy. He be put, put me in the
He
right
thought,
situation.
oops, son.
he does. I would kind of take a bit of a stance of how healthy are the two individuals arguing. Because if you are two emotionally unhealthy individuals, I don't,
Mm.
it may not be safe at all
Mhm.
for
Mhm.
anything to take
Mhm.
place in front of the children. When we sit, I think you and Raven were kind of talking about some of the things that you learned from your parents or the adults growing up. And so, if we're going to have these spats in hopes of teaching our children, what healthy communication looks like, what crucial conversations look like, then we have to be two individuals that are working individually and together to just to become better overall.
Mhm.
So I agree. Noah should see these disagreements. He does see these disagreements. They now they're just really little
Yeah.
spats. Yeah, they're just little spats, and he can see us work through that. But hopefully, he's seeing that, and when he gets married one day, he could learn from the conversations that we've had, not looking for a picture perfect marriage. I want him to have a real idea of what marriage looks like. It's not out of the movies. Two people are growing and figuring this thing out, and conflict is inevitable. But this is how my mom and dad handled this when I was growing up, and it was in turn effective and healthy for him as a husband in the future.
That's good. Anthony, you get mad like that, bro?
Hey, bro. Hey, man.
Some people don't see it though. He's a
Hey,
really,
bro.
He's really goofy. He's really
Hey.
He's like
fun.
a nice guy.
Like, but when he's mad, y'all look.
And it's funny you say. I honestly think it's gotten worse as I've gotten older. You know, they say
Tolerance
people get
go.
older, their tolerance go down. So
Mhm.
it's actually, I actually think it's kind of maybe not worse. Maybe I'm just more upfront than I
think
was.
that's what it is.
Yeah.
Ain't no maybe. It's definitely because this is a conscious thing that I know is happening. So yeah, yes. Yes.
Oh man. How about y'all, Raven and Kevin? Should children ever see their parents argue?
Uh, this one's this one's a tough one, because like I say, it is life ain't gonna be peachy. You know what I'm saying? So kids definitely need to know how to navigate. You know what I'm saying? When in situations where they may have conflict, they need to dissolve. So it can definitely be a learning point. But as parents, you try to guard your kids from everything, which you probably shouldn't either, because it kind of make them, you know, guarded, sheltered. So we have had one big spout that they were privy to and they saw, and like Anthony say, as a man, you carry that in it suck. You like, dang, I straight let my kids see that, and especially when it's not in your nature. So it's like, dang. But also, you use that as a learning experience. Like, hey, daddy ain't perfect either. You know, we all I fell short of the glory, so I got to do what I got to do to fix it and reconcile. The problems that I caused. So
Mm-hmm.
I think it can be a learning tool for sure.
What about you,
Oh,
Raven?
I agree.
Seriously,
I
on me.
did. No, I agree because I agree with what everybody said. So now I don't have anything else to add. But in that situation, they did, talk to both of us separately and also together, and they've seen us, work through things. It's been referenced a couple of times. What happened when you and Daddy, and it's like, and especially Corey, she's so inquisitive, so she has thousands of questions every day. Um, and but it was like Kevin said, it was a learning experience. It sucked that they saw it, but also I feel like that was around the time in my life where like it was a lot of things that was just kind of like coming up that I was dealing with in childhood and growing, and so I would rather her see that now and allow me to explain what happened and how to work through it, instead of her have the same issues that I had. And at 35, you raising kids and also trying to raise yourself. You know what
Mhm.
I'm saying? Trying to raise and heal yourself and then raise kids to maneuver a way that you didn't even know how to maneuver as a kid. So it was a difficult situation to be in, but I'm there. I feel blessed that I was able to walk through it with my kids and show them that there's a different way from how I learned growing up. So
It's good. It's good. All right, I got one last question for you guys, and that'll be it tonight. Um, this is a good one. Can a marriage thrive if spouses have different levels of faith? Um, I really like this question. Can you want to answer it first?
Hmm. I feel that it can, but I think it just has to be respect on both ends. Like you feel the way that you feel, I feel the way that I feel, whether I agree with it or not. But my prayer and desire would be for us to still be able to be on one accord. Um, Especially when I feel like when you bring children into the equation, that causes confusion too as well. If um my mom is Christian and my dad is Muslim or whatever. So I think those are the conversations that we should be having in that dating phase before we even get to marriage, because down the line that can cause division and that can cause confusion. So I think it just comes with communication and respect on both ends.
Uh, I'm just looking at the question, and it says thrive. Uh, I truly believe that we both have to be kind of equally yoked
Mm,
in our faith for our marriage to thrive. Can your marriage exist? Yes, it
yeah.
can still exist. I've seen a lot of marriages where one person was very strong in the faith and the other one wasn't that strong in the faith. But if you're looking for certain things in your marriage, I truly believe if you're a believer, you have to be equally yoked in your faith. And um, there is some marriages where one is stronger in their faith than the other. But as long as you're willing and trying to get that person to where you are, then your marriage can thrive.
Mm-hmm.
But I truly believe that you do have to have uh, be on the same level or the same frequency in faith for the marriage to thrive. Um, because I can't have this strong faith and you don't have. Now I have faith in you that you can get to my faith. That's what I do have faith in. But you have to have the faith that I have in a marriage for a marriage to thrive. Is
Mm-hmm.
that's what I believe. So let's start with Kevin and Raven on this one. What y'all feel on this one?
You took my answer. I was looking at thrive too as the key word.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I mean, yeah, you can be married, and I've grown up and seen people be married. Typically, um, sadly, but typically it was the husbands who were not, you know,
Mm-hmm.
True.
believers, and the wives were believers, and the wives took the kids to church, and the wives, you know, drug the husbands on the holidays and things like that. But honestly, those examples that I'm giving you all, I can tell you now that none of them are still married.
Still married. Yeah.
The ones
Mm,
that I know, you
Mm-hmm.
know. And that was as a child watching that. And those folks are not married. So I'm gonna say, from my experience, no, I can't speak on everybody. From my
Mm-hmm.
experience, I
what you
don't believe
think?
that they can thrive.
Yeah.
It's definitely gonna create some challenges for
What about
sure.
you on this one,
For
Kev?
sure.
I agree. It's hard to thrive when you're not,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I'm saying, on the same page, you know? So you asking somebody, you asking for a marriage to thrive in with one person trying to pull all the weight with the faith. You know what I'm saying? It don't really work like that because if my faith drop a little bit and I'm dealing with somebody who's don't really have faith at all,
Mm-hmm.
I don't got nobody. You know what I'm saying? I don't got nobody to lean on,
Right.
and that's tough. So as a
Right.
team, equally yoked, I got to be able to pick up where my wife. You know what I'm saying? Might drop the ball sometimes, and if I drop the ball, she got to be able to pick up, where I fell off. So if you fall off, now you can slip and be all bad. So I think it's very important to be equally yoked, and especially to thrive.
That's good. All right, Anthony and Essence, what y'all feel on this one too?
Always looking at me. So I think I feel a couple ways about it. So with the different levels of faith, um, there have been, I think, Kevin kind of hit on it a little bit. There have been, especially in my walk with the Lord, I grew up in church. I mean, from the frively, the socks to the Easter
Mm-hmm.
dresses. I mean, I've been in church my entire life, and throughout what I've noticed is there've been little moments where my faith has dropped. And I would
Mm,
even struggle picking up my word. Like just this last year, picking up my Bible, sometimes even praying were moments that were really difficult for me. And in that, um, and I've explained this to my husband. There was other believers as well that I've, more strong in faith that I've talked to, and they're like, yeah, I've gone through those seasons as well. Though I believe in the Lord, I still have faith in Him. But sometimes spending time with Him was difficult. Hopelessness at some,
mm,
some point. But having my husband who made sure where he's like, hey, let's read this together,
An anchor.
or let's that anchor,
Mm-hmm.
let's do this, and slowly but surely giving me that space and understanding I'm not exactly there right now, but also being that one to just kind of pull me back in slowly, and slowly but surely, it's been a blessing to have a husband that does that, right? I also believe that the thriving in the marriage, and giving space for those differences, but also understanding ultimately, we have to get to a certain point, in our faith for us to do exactly what God is telling us to do, or but I do believe too, you can't thrive, or it can be very challenging to thrive um in a relationship of opposite sex. I mean, opposite sex, Jesus, opposite faiths.
Hey.
So when you said one thing, you said, Kania, was these should be conversations that we have in the beginning.
Hmm.
Unfortunately, people are not having premarital
Marital
counseling.
counseling.
They're not
Yep.
having these conversations, these difficult ones, because most people are just rushing to the altar. They
Hmm.
just want to get married for the sake of being married and not really understanding what that means. But the different levels of faith, at different seasons, those levels can be different. But I've been grateful enough to have a husband that can be that anchor, like you said, in those moments where mine is lower.
Yeah. It's little stuff too. Like I'll just send you what I read that day. Just screenshot, send it,
Yeah,
and send
just
you the
sharing.
scripture and
Yeah.
just what I got from it.
Mhm.
Um, that's a little tidbit too. I think men put too much on what it means to be the priest of their home.
Mhm.
I gotta have a church service in my living room every Wednesday
Hmm.
because I'm the man of the house. Hey man, just have the word in y'all's everyday life.
Yeah.
That is more than enough. That
Mm.
is everything that you need to be doing as a husband and father. Anyway, different the different faiths in general. We actually know a couple that got married Muslim and Christian, and the Muslim became a Christian.
You convert.
so,
Mhm.
so, so something's gonna happen there
Something
Yeah.
for
definitely
what.
gonna happen.
God
Yeah.
is
Something
good.
definitely gonna
Yeah.
happen.
but but like just the different levels, man. Like what do we mean thrive? Do we mean in like a worldly? I'm not even saying the worldly is a bad thing. It's just where we live. I'm using it in that definition, just where we live. Like, are we saying thrive just like what it looks like?
Coexist.
Yeah, yeah, I think so.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but the most important piece of it is the spiritual component, and it could go either way. You know, all, what do we look like? What are we talking about? Different levels. Does this person have a 3 hour devotional every morning at 5 a.m. and they go to church every Sunday and they pray without ceasing and they have worship sessions with the kids at night versus somebody who go to church and they read their Bible every day? Like, is like,
What's that
do
level?
we need to get that specific with the weight? I don't think so. I think that actually can be dangerous. I
Mm-hmm.
think that's the whole reason why Paul taught us that we
Mhm.
are saved by grace through faith, so nobody can boast.
Mm-hmm.
Meaning, it ain't
Mm.
nothing you can do more than I can
Words
do
don't count.
to get us into heaven. So that's
Mm-hmm.
kind of taken care of there. I think.
Yeah.
Um, I think what also comes to mind is now this is talking about divorce, but when Paul said that if someone is married to an unbeliever, they shouldn't divorce them.
Hmm.
I think that's so deep, especially in talking about the point of like levels of faith. You ain't got no faith. That's a pretty low level of faith.
Yeah.
Um, but the very fact that the believing spouse can, in a lot of cases, in a lot of ways, help bring that other person to Christ, even ultimately they're kind of looked at as being sanctified because they're married to the belief. Like I think
It's
just
still
that person
sanctified.
holding strong, remaining strong in their faith,
Hmm.
speaks words and volumes to whatever thriving that they have going on. It's
Mm.
still going to be tough when it comes to decisions that they have to make because, again, this is if somebody doesn't believe or does believe. But even if someone, I guess, maybe isn't as submitted to the Lord, maybe they don't pray every morning at 5 a.m., but if they are ultimately submitted to the Lord, if their heart is good with doing whatever the Lord is calling them, directing them, guiding them to do, the the visual level, the visual component of what that faith look like, I think that can be whatever. They're not, they're not doing anything crazy or anything like that. It just looks different.
Hmm.
And that's everybody is on their individual walk at that point. So it could go a lot of ways with that thriving thing.
Good.
I think what it comes to, I think that's I talk my way to my answer. As long as both people's hearts are actually submitted to God, whatever it looks like on the surface, that can be worked through and experienced as they grow as a marriage unit.
Hmm.
Anything outside of that, then yeah, we gonna have to. That's what we got each other for.
And I would say you can't force anyone to have a relationship with God. That
Mhm.
it's one of those things. I can't get you there. Your mom can't get you there. You have to have that personal relationship. But my hope and my prayer and my desire is that you do. But if you see me living out my lifestyle the way that I am, if you see me, oh, we're going to church and we're having an intentional relationship with God, I'm putting on my worship music, I'm in my word, then
Mhm.
hopefully, iron sharpens iron. You should come and take heed to what I got going on over here. You shouldn't just fall back and be um, on the back front. But I think there's a lot of things too that I don't think a lot of people talk about when it's the man that is supposed to be the husband that's supposed to be the head because we're talking about marriage, supposed to be the head, but he just not here yet. He's supposed to lead and guide our family, but I don't know that. So that sometimes that does cause a lot of conflict in the relationship. But all I can say is focus on you and your relationship with God, and not that God will change him. No, focus on you and hopefully what I'm doing and how I'm living out my life and the faith that I have in things will hopefully encourage him to as well.
What's that story? What you about? Oh, go ahead, Mike.
I know, Anthony, you talked about the word thrive, but when I think about thrive, I actually think about a
Help.
Kanye West song, The Good Life. I feel like
Hmm.
thriving is you living the best life. I know even the Clark sisters had a song, I'm living my best life. That's what I feel like thriving is. It's when you're living the good life, you're living your best life. And a lot of us, we just existing, and it's based off our faith levels. We don't
Mm-hmm.
have the same faith level. We don't believe in the same things. We don't believe that we can live this victorious life. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? So I really do truly believe that a thriving couple or a thriving marriage has to be equally yoked in their faith. That's just how I feel about it. And I know everybody can look at that a little different, but I truly believe that me and Kania, we're equally yoked in our faith. And it's some things that you have to do to be equally yoked in your faith. You have to actually exercise your faith. You have to pray. I know one thing that we've done that has really helped is every morning, and she stays on me about this because she's the one that really stays on it. She texts me every day, what?
Oh, call me when you're ready to pray.
When you're ready to pray. That's the first. That's how we start our day is when you're ready to pray. And
That's
my
dope.
mom, she just bought me a book where we're speaking. You say this prayer every morning. You speak it out loud. All right. You have to speak it, and so you can speak it into existence. Those things, and it's on marriage. It's on everything. Our children, all those things. These things help us build our faith,
Mm-hmm.
and we're doing it together, and I want her to start doing them too on the book that I'm doing. I'm gonna send them to her as well. But those things help you get equally yoked in your faith. So if those are, I'm talking to the people out here. I know you guys are both of you couples are very strong in your faith walk, but a lot of couples aren't.
Mm-hmm.
We are abnormal. We are this for a lot of the couples that I've seen and a lot of marriages that I've seen, they don't have these things,
Mm-hmm.
and that's why they're failing.
Yep.
That's why
Yeah.
I ain't saying we perfect because we definitely not perfect,
Mm-hmm.
but we look at some other couples, we be like, "What in the world?" I know us in the last couple of weeks, we just like,
How y'all
"What?
making
What is
it?
going on?"
Mhm.
It's
But
interesting too because
It
all
is.
of us
Yeah.
we've all been married about the same. We all been married about 10 years,
Yeah.
yeah,
It'll be 10 years
and
in
we're
September.
seeing
Yep.
all of the other couples that got married around the same time we did are
Yeah.
starting to get divorced.
Yeah.
I don't know if y'all
Yeah.
have noticed that about some that they
Yeah.
starting.
Yeah.
I
It's
really
starting
Or
to
don't
even
happen.
know.
more.
I don't
I
really know
noticed.
any
I'm
other
like, oh,
couples.
what happened? Yeah.
I don't really know a lot of other couples
I
that's
can tell
married
you some.
besides y'all.
Long,
I
We
can
hard
ain't
tell
trying
you
years.
to.
some
We
because I
see
know quite a few.
everything. We like, you know
I
what?
know
You
quite a
the
few.
context clues.
Yes, they won't put it out there, but you're not posting them as much. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're
So
not
you
wearing the
see,
ring. Yeah,
yep, that ring gone. Like, dang, what
yeah.
happened?
hmm And I
Yeah,
think
You see
sometimes
that?
if one is further along than the other person, that's okay. As long as we're going the same direction, if we have
Right,
those same
True.
foundation values, that's all that matters.
right,
yep.
right.
Hmm. And
That's
it's
good.
also how you are applying what you know too.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
So somebody might not know, you know what I'm saying, have a lot of word in them, but what they do know, they're applying it.
Mm-hmm.
And some
Right,
people might have
A lot
know
happened.
scriptures.
Pharisees.
You know what I'm saying? Like after just by memory, and life be jacked up. So
Traditionally going to church on
yeah,
Sundays, but not no
yeah.
relationship.
No
Mm-hmm.
relationship, nothing.
It's all about how you applying what you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So I think that's a big thing too. And I think that's a big thing for I want to say for men. Women are usually get caught up in the church scenes and caught up in the hoopla of the churches and listening to the pastors and doing this and doing that. But if you got a husband that is like, the word that he is applying it to
Mm-hmm.
your life, give that man some grace, because obviously God is working on him and
Mm-hmm.
he gonna get there. So just continue to pray for him, and you don't need to bash him and talk to your pastor about him. He ain't doing this, he ain't doing that. No, give him grace. Keep uplifting him, keep
Mm-hmm.
praying for him. Because he's trying.
I'm trying.
He's
That's it.
trying. So,
I'm so glad you just said that because it brought back to me, like Mike said earlier, we never really argue. What we really the most argued about was finances, especially in the beginning of our marriage. Because I feel like a lot of people don't talk about when the woman is the breadwinner. And in the beginning of our marriage, we were at that space when it was like, this is not comfortable for me. And not that I didn't believe in him and his passions and everything that he had, but it was one of those things where I wanted instant gratification. Like, you need to figure it out what you want to do because I'm over here, seems like carrying the load in that season. But now it's one of those things like now where things are shifting and he has this podcast going on. And in the beginning, I probably wasn't as supportive because I'm like, oh, there's more money you spending, there's more money coming out the home. But it's like now the seasons have shifted for us. So where like he's doing well with this, he's thriving in it, passionate about it. And I know that God is just going to continue to open doors. It's just, sometimes we want that instant gratification, or we don't talk about when the women are the breadwinners and how they can be, because I will find myself not belittling you, but I'm like, okay, what we doing? Like, come on, like, figure it out. So in the beginning, I think that was one of the things we argue most about. But so I'm glad you said that, Kevin. Like, give them some grace to be supportive,
yeah.
But we got to have a plan, and it's got to make sense.
Yes, you have to show your spouse grace, and that goes for men as well. Men, I know a lot of men that love to bash they wives or their girlfriends.
Mm-hmm.
Never really kind of understood that. They would go to everybody and talk about their wives,
Mm-hmm.
talk about their girlfriends, how bad they are. I'm like, and I always think about this. What are you doing? Okay,
Mm-hmm.
if you talking about them, I know you ain't perfect. It's always three sides to a story. So you doing something as well. All right. So it goes for the men as well, man. I
Mm-hmm.
know, women, they have their problems with men, but a lot of these men out here, they do talk a lot. All right. They are chatty patties, if you would say,
Yes.
that do chat a lot about their wives. And, that's not good as well. All right. And if you do have something, go to somebody that is an outside source. We keep saying that a lot, but I don't know why people don't hear that because a lot of people are going to people that are going to side with them.
Mm-hmm.
And that ain't good in marriage either. Don't go to your mama. Don't go to your auntie. Stop going to all these people that you already know got your back and known you for a long time and don't know them. So you know they're going to side with you.
Mm-hmm.
Go find an outside person to talk to, man. Because we all
And
going to
your
have
single
reasons.
friends. Why are you
Wow.
talking to your single friend?
Yes.
Why?
That's another
What can
thing.
they tell you?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, don't talk
Yes.
to somebody old and seasoned
Right.
who gonna tell you the
And
truth
married,
and married.
That's
successfully
another
married.
thing. That's another
Yes.
red flag. If you marry and you don't have no married friends, all you still got is single friends, you got to switch up that. And I know we got loyalty. We're very loyal to our friends and things like that. But when you marry, y'all got a different set of problems.
Circle
Your
got to
single friend
change. Yeah.
can't help you with, with marriage problems. They just can't. We have a different set of problems that we deal with that single people will never understand. Just like I don't understand my single friend's life. We live two totally different lives and they will never understand it. So you do have to shift your circle sometimes, all right? And shift it and be like, I need to find more seasoned married friends. That's why I hang out with my cousin George. He 40 some years old. He is old. But I love
George
my
gonna be
cousin.
in the
Closer to
comments.
50.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, there was a shot. There was a shot at you. It was. All right.
Hey, babe.
I do hang out with, now I see myself, I'm like, dang, I used to ask my mom and dad why they hang out with these old farts, man. They hang out with people that are like 60 some years old. But now I realize why they did it because they was trying to get something from them.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying?
Wisdom.
I mean, age ain't really it really is nothing but a number. Because I got friends where I'd be like, I never thought I'd be friends with this
Yeah,
person. Like they're old, but we got a lot in common. I'm talking to them and
that's
hanging out with
wisdom.
them,
Trying
and
to
they
get
getting you
wisdom.
getting wisdom. So those things happen when you get older and you start to realize it. So those are just some gems and nuggets for everybody out there. Is to shift your circle. All right, find more like-minded people. All right, that's something that will definitely help you in your relationship, in your marriage, and in your life. That's not even just for married people. That's for people that's just trying to get somewhere in life and have a better life. All right, you got to elevate. So yeah. I think that's gonna be it tonight. Did y'all have any questions? Anything y'all want to ask before we get off of here? Because we had an hour and 10. Y'all good?
Nah, I want Raven to be the breadwinner so I can be a stay at home daddy. My goals. I got goals and admirations.
You stop buying them tennis shoes and you can stay home.
All right,
Ooh.
guys, been
They
real. I'll
positive,
talk to y'all later. Conversation over
You,
there.
can't, you gotta be quick on your feet.
I'm
Hey,
going to work.
go write your feelings down right now, Kevin, so you don't get put in the blender.
yeah.
Go write
Right?
your feelings down right now.
Yeah, ain't nobody doing that.
All the Jordans, man. You buy all the Jordans, man.
I just got a
Yeah.
pair last week. All right.
Oh, man, which ones you buy, man?
Them 13s, them
Yes.
flints.
Yeah, the Flints.
Yeah.
I bought some
I had
chucks
to.
last week,
This dude.
Hey.
and I bought some wide-toe Amazon sneakers.
Listen, we can hold down. We can watch
They
Yeah, I
need to be
bought some.
comfort.
Listen,
Man,
Comfort.
I bought some
Mhm.
Hokas for work. I love them though, man. Some
listen,
Hokas.
you get
Yeah.
older, you don't realize how important your feet are. You better get you some
Yes.
wide toe shoes and the
Mhm.
insoles too.
Yep. I
Mhm.
And
got
so
insoles. I get the wide. I ain't gonna lie,
all
man. I
that.
like my feet being comfortable at this point. I ain't lying. I
Okay.
agree.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's more about comfort than style for me these
I
days.
keep them in my work boots. I definitely got some insoles and all kind of stuff in them.
Them orthotics.
Yeah, man. We appreciate everybody for watching tonight, man. This was like an impromptu show. We normally do our shows, and I'm just gonna put this out there right now. Y'all know Black Fatherhood Conversations has been amazing. The response we've gotten from it, the love we gotten from it has been like really, really shocking. Because we just started the show probably about probably 5 or 6 months ago, and it's doing really, really well. And it comes on at 8 p.m. on Tuesdays, just so anybody wanted to know what time it comes on. But I just want to shout at you guys out, Anthony and Kevin, for you guys coming on there and helping grow the show because it's been an amazing response from the show. I feel like it's really blessing people. We're getting a lot of different people that's interested in coming on, and that's because of you guys, man. So I appreciate you guys for that. Also, our staple show, the Mike to Mike podcast, we have not forgotten about that. That is coming back August the 30th on Sunday nights at 8 p.m. We will start doing that show again. So
Sundays are
Sunday nights. It's coming on Sunday nights at 8 p.m. That's the time we decided on. So we do have two shows in rotation, and we're gonna keep this show going too. We're gonna do the marriage episodes. I really enjoy them. I like to hear our wives what they got to say. I think it's very important that we hear from them, and that the people that watch us every week that they get to hear from our wives as well. Just so they know we ain't fluffing and just saying something up here. We got wives, so that's really good.
We got lives.
Man, a lot of these podcasts, man, I don't know, they be lying, man. I want to validate my stuff, bro, because
I said we got wives.
these,
dedicated.
We
these dudes be
married.
having relationship podcasts and don't be in relationships. They just be doing all type of stuff these days. There's a lot of empowerment out there today, man. So I gotta, show that
People
we
be saying they doctors and don't
right,
be
right.
doctors.
All these dudes running these fraud schemes, these Ponzi schemes, and all this, man. I just gotta validate myself sometimes that I know what I'm
Oh
talking about,
man.
and we really going through it. So yeah, man. Thank you guys for always supporting us, watching. And you know what? I don't know how often y'all want to do this, but if y'all down to do it, probably once a month or once every 2 months, we'll definitely do it. Let's keep doing it because I really enjoy it. I really do. But
Yes,
thank y'all for coming on tonight. Thank you for everybody. I don't know if we got any comments. I don't think people know that we own it
I
this
ain't
time.
saying nothing.
Hopefully, we're gonna keep something. We'll stay consistent so people know to watch us. But yeah, man. Thank you guys. Appreciate you guys. And like always, love y'all and see y'all on Tuesday at 8 p.m. Peace.
Peace out.
All right.